Hey guys, what's going on? I'm super excited for today's call because, like I just told you, I'm going to be combining this and making it a training for the team. And what we're going to cover in this training is actually just pretty much everything that has to do with creating effective movies and how to properly prepare for creating videos as well. So I'm not going to hesitate. I'm going to get right into it. I actually wrote down a bunch of notes to keep me on track this time. So I want to first start by talking about the importance of making a video, guys. And I'm not sure how many of you guys are actually taking the time to create videos for your customers, for your teams. If you're not, you're really missing a huge opportunity here. Because one, here's why I like to do videos for both my customers and my team. And I talked about this before in different trainings, but for my customers, it's a way for me to answer questions and not have to repeat my answers over and over again. So if someone asks me a question specifically about maybe a pre-workout supplement, instead of responding to them through a message or whatnot, I like to create short videos and do it that way. That way, if I get that same question again, then I can go ahead and just send them the link to the video. And usually I post all of my videos on YouTube. Now with the training, it's the same exact thing. I don't want to go and repeat myself over and over again. So I'm putting all of my training. I'm actually in the process of creating some awesome new training, which you guys will see here soon. But I've been putting all of my training on YouTube so that I can just easily direct people to my YouTube channel if they have questions about the coaching business, whatever. It's really important that you guys do your best to get yourself out there, create the videos. I understand that a lot of you are not comfortable in front of the camera. Trust me, guys, I totally get it. I was that person who, man, I remember my first few videos and they were just absolutely terrible. I was shaking the whole time. I was nervous. You could just tell I was terrible. I mean, I just sucked at creating videos. And I get it. Like, I totally get it. I understand what you're going through. And what I have to say about that is you just have to keep practicing over and over and over again until you get to that point to where you're comfortable enough to make really, really good videos. It's taken me a lot of years. I'm still tweaking what I'm doing to this day. I've gotten a lot better than I have, but it's super important for you and your business to get these videos out there. Okay, so next, let's start with my actual notes. And I want to talk about the dress. You know, what do you wear when you're creating a video? And there's a lot of different opinions on this, and I'm going to give you mine. I've seen a lot of professionals have the exact same response that I do when I'm asked this question. And I like to tell all of my coaches, I'm like, listen, guys, wear what you're comfortable wearing. Wear what's going to be you the most. You see a lot of trainings out there, and again, I'm not really sure I agree with this, but they're saying you have to look extremely professional. Now, here's the thing. Let's take me, for example. This is me. What you're seeing right now is me. Everywhere I go, I'm wearing a tank top. I'm wearing a hat. It's very rare that I actually do my hair. I did it for a few videos yesterday, but that's besides the point. But it's very rare that I actually take the time to really get dressed up. That's just not who I am. I'm a country boy. This is just naturally how I like to be. And my job and my responsibility is to appeal to people who are like me. Okay, so I'm going to wear to whatever is going to appeal to people like me, which is AKA your market. I'm going to wear what I feel most comfortable wearing. So if I would get on and wear a suit, it wouldn't be natural for me, and I wouldn't be able to relate to and connect to a lot of people in the market because that's not how they are either. Now, for example, if you take someone like Jimmy Nelson, which is a great friend of mine, he dresses up all the time. That's awesome. That's great. That's who he is. He likes to do that, and people expect that out of him. So when he creates videos, you see him all done up. He's got these nice suits on or tie, whatever it is, but that's just naturally who he is. So what I'm saying is you just have to be yourself. You wear what you're comfortable with wearing. You wear with whatever you think is going to relate to and appeal to your market the most. Okay, next, I want to get to the lighting. Okay, and this is really, really important, guys. And I wish I would have done this a long time ago. I mean, if you can see my beautiful face right now, right? Y'all are looking at this sexiness right here. Hey, Woody, I know you know I'm right, man. So, you know, I actually have this light. I'm going to turn around. I'm going to show it to you. But I have this thing called, I think it's the Diva light. I think I got it from Stellar Studios or something. I don't know. It was Shalene Johnson recommended it. I'm going to actually turn around. Hopefully it doesn't blind you guys. But this is the light that I use to bring out that glow, to make everything just a lot brighter. Okay, so I'm going to try to show it to you real quick. So you guys can see it, right? That's my light. And what I do with that light is I just put it at the eye level, okay? So I want everything just coming right into my face. Yeah, it does. It looks crazy, but it's a really cool thing. I mean, honestly, guys, this is one of the best investments that you can make for your business. And if you haven't done it yet, you really, really need to, because lighting plays such an important part in how you look in your videos and really how you're perceived too. Okay, you just want to look awesome. Hey guys, if you just came in, please mute yourself. So that's one option. Like I said, I think it's called the Diva light. Okay, and you can go on Amazon. You can find it. I think it's like 150, 200 bucks, guys. I promise you, like, this is one of the best investments that you can make for your business, especially if you're going to be creating videos, and you need to be creating videos for you and your team and your customers. So just get it, man. I'm telling you, just take the plunge, get it. There's other options too. I mean, you could also do some natural lighting. Personally, that's my least favorite. Because you never know when it's going to be sunny out. If you want to have that light coming into your face, it's very hard to get really, really good natural light unless you actually go outside and film videos out there. But then you have other things that come into play, like lawnmowers in the background and dogs barking and all that good stuff. You don't want to have to deal with that. So I come down here in my basement, I put my Diva light on right in front of me, and it makes things a lot better. It glows up my face. So I highly recommend that you do this. Okay, so next, what about the background? Okay, and I hope you guys are taking notes, because this is really, really important stuff. Here's something that's really important too. I mean, you see a lot of videos and they all have kind of the same background. Here's my thoughts and opinions on it. I think that you need to, just like with what you're wearing, I think you need to have a background that appeals to your market. Okay, so I don't know if you guys have noticed, but all of my videos lately, I've been doing them in my workout room, and it's not a coincidence that I'm doing them in my workout room. I'm purposely doing that. Why? Because I understand my market. I know my niche. I want to do everything that I can to appeal to my niche. So I have weights in the background. I have a dark color. It's a dark brown. On my walls, I'm using all colors in my background and all objects and everything that appeals to my specific market. Okay, so that is really, really important too. You just want to make sure that whatever it is that you have in your background, it appeals to your market. You see somebody like Shalene Johnson, and I love her videos. They're awesome, and they're totally her, because you see her with all this natural lighting, and she also has like 4 of these Diva rings. And she has like a flower and a really nice chandelier and a vase and everything just set up. It's like strategically set up, but that's her. That's who she is. And she's doing everything that she can to appeal to her market. I'm doing the same thing. I want to appeal to my market. So yes, your background has a huge role in your videos, and it's important that you take some time to think about creating that proper background. Okay. Next. Oh, you know what? On that too, and I hit on a little bit. But the colors. So the colors that I'm using in my background, again, are appealing to my market. I try to use all colors that will appeal to me. Okay, that's really important, because you relate to people who are like you. So next, I want to get into preparing yourself mentally and preparing the topic. First, I'm going to cover preparing the topic. This is really, really important. There's a lot of people that they'll get on videos and they just try to wing it. Guys, it doesn't work that way, because a lot of the times, and this is something that I used to do all the time, one of the issues that I had when I tried to wing it was that I forgot some of the things that I wanted to talk about. And you don't want to do that, because if you forget some of the things that you have to talk about, then you have to go through and you have to start over again. And that's just a waste of time. Okay. So what I like to do is exactly what I'm going to show you right now. I'm going to screen share, and exactly what I'm doing for this call is I like to write down bullet points, okay? So these are all my notes that I wrote for this call today. Obviously, you can see I'm just working my way down this list, and you know, then I'm going to get to shooting the video here in a little bit, and then the next video is going to be how to edit a video, which is going to be cool. But anyways, this is what I do. So anytime that I'm preparing for a call or even for a speech out in public, this is what I do. I write down bullet points, and and you can tell in this thing, I don't go into too much detail because I don't want to be reading off of anything. I just want something to keep me on track. I just want bullet points that I can hit and cover. So this is really, really important. Take a few minutes. It doesn't even take that long. This took me 5 minutes to do. Write this down. And you want to place it somewhere where you can see it easily. Sometimes I'll bring my computer downstairs in my basement, in my workout room where I'm filming my videos, and I'll place it somewhere where you can't see it on video, obviously. You could also write down on a piece of paper, stick it somewhere. You could also tape it to maybe something like your video stand if you have one, your light if you have one, like I said. But anyways, yeah, so that's what I do. That's extremely, extremely important. The last thing that you want to do is wing it. And I don't have this written down, but I'm thinking about it. But what do I use for a video? What do I record myself with? I love using my iPad. I mean, it's super professional looking. It's not grainy usually. And it seems to put out some really, really good videos. Now, of course, there's other cameras that you can get that are going to be more effective. I have a video camera, but one of the reasons why I like the iPad so much is because it easily syncs with everything. So I have a Mac computer, as you can see. I also have an iPhone, and it syncs so easily and so quickly. Hey, guys, please. Yeah, Woody.
Hey, so do you use the rear facing, like you, or do you use the front camera or the rear camera?
Yeah, I use wherever I can see myself at, you know, so
okay.
I guess it's the front camera. Would that be?
Well, it's the one you're looking at when you're looking at the screen, so you got to flip it. Okay.
Right. Yeah. I like to do that. And I only like to do that, and it's not good to keep looking at yourself, obviously, but I want to make sure that I'm staying center in the video and whatnot. That's obviously very important. One of the issues that I had, and I was going to say this, one of the issues that I had with my other camera was that it took forever to load onto my Mac, to load it into iMovie, to where it wasted an hour of my day. I would rather create a video, quickly sync it with my Mac computer within just a few minutes, and then move on to editing and get everything done that I need to get done within a half hour. That is really, really important, guys. So like I said, I recommend an iPad. Obviously, there's more professional stuff you can get out there to make it look, I guess, more professional, but you know, I guess more expensive stuff to make it look more professional. But this works for me. I've been doing it for a long time. So next, how to get yourself mentally prepared. Guys, this is a big one. And it's hard, and this is something that I didn't really quite understand and get until recently, probably in the last year and a half or 2 years. But when you're covering a certain topic, there's a certain mood and attitude that you want to create, right? And the hardest thing to do, and this is what I found, was that if I'm talking about something that is like emotional to me, the hardest thing to do is to go from making a lunch to making a video that is super emotional. You know what I mean? So what I like to do before I shoot a video, or even before I go on stage and speak, is I like to take a step back and mentally prepare myself for that mood. Okay. So, again, if I'm making a video on something that I'm extremely passionate about, then I'll take 5 minutes and I'll really think about what I want to talk about, and I'll really get myself going so that when I do get on video, I'm ready to do it. Sometimes I don't properly go through that preparation process, and it takes me 2 or 3 takes just to get to that point. And you don't want to have to go through that. You want to get on video, shoot it quickly, have the right mood and emotion, and then quickly stop, get out, edit it, and do what you got to do. Again, it's so easy to waste time doing these videos. It can eat up most of your day. You need to find an efficient way to do this, and that's what I'm teaching you right here. Okay. Another thing that you have to do when mentally preparing yourself is you have to have confidence in yourself, guys. This is extremely important because there's times when it's very obvious when I'm going through and rewatching my videos that I am not confident in what I'm talking about. And I can feel it, I can sense it, even though it's me talking. I'm like, this just doesn't, it's not what I'm trying to stir up in other people. So I'll actually have to go through and I'll have to prepare myself even more and have more confidence in what I'm talking about. So this confidence, guys, that is so important. And confidence comes, yes, from preparation, but also just getting yourself again in that mood, in that right emotion. Something that I like to do too is if I'm speaking maybe about again something that I'm extremely maybe passionate about, then I will do I will actually pick up something like The Magic of Thinking Big, and I'll have certain pages marked off, and I'll read certain pages of that book just to get me in that place to where I am 100% confident in what I'm talking about, and my confidence spews into the camera and onto the audience. That is so important, guys. If you lack confidence in yourself, I mean, we talked about this so many times, other people are not going to have confidence in you. You have to have confidence in what you're talking about because it just transfers on to that next person and it affects them in such a different way. And this goes for not just when you're creating videos, but when you're speaking in public as well. You guys all know what I'm talking about. You see people that get up on stage and you could tell they just, like, they're shrugging their shoulders. You know, they have this monotone. You could tell there's no confidence in what they're talking about. But then you have these other people that get on stage like Jimmy and like Tommy Migrant who just get up there like, yeah, I'm a badass, man. Like, I know what I'm talking about. I'm going to get shit done right now. And they just go and they nail the speech because they have confidence in themselves. So again, confidence comes from preparation, but it also comes from doing something like reading a personal development book. Okay, so I'm going to pause right there, and I'll ask you guys, do you have any questions over anything that has to do with preparing for the video? I'm looking, hold on. Okay, so someone said I looked very good with the Diva light. Thank you. It's got to be the hair. So I don't see any questions. I'm just right to assume that you guys don't have any questions. It's good to move on, right? Okay, cool. By the way, like I told you, I am recording this video. You can share it with your teams. I'll send you the link after we're done and I post it on YouTube. So next, I want to move on because I got a lot to cover here in a short amount of time. Let me bring up my notes again. I'm going to go, you know what, I'm just going to screen share and bring up my notes. That way I can keep myself on track. Okay, so, all right, so here we go. And this is one of the areas that a lot of people really, really struggle with. I did at first when I was first starting as a Beachbody coach, and I even struggled with this for a lot of years, but how to properly shoot the video. Oh, man. So number one, most importantly, guys, don't stare at yourself the whole time. So if you're doing what I'm doing and you have that flip screen, and you see yourself, don't look at yourself. It's so funny because there's this commercial here locally. It comes on very late at night. It's for a car commercial. And this girl, man, I don't know what she's doing, but the camera is right in front of the eye of the camera is right in front of her. But you see her just looking up to the left and just reading something or staring at herself. I don't know what she's doing, but it looks so awkward. You don't want to be that person who looks just incredibly awkward. Stare at the eye of the camera. And guys, here's something that's important too. Don't just sit here and look at it and talk and not move like this. And I've seen a lot of people do that, and that's the wrong approach. Just you want to move around, you want to look away, just talk like you would be talking to your best friend or on stage or whatever. So you just want to be comfortable, look comfortable, act and feel natural. That's really important. So make sure that you are, when you do look at the screen, make sure that you do look at the eye of the camera and not yourself. Okay, so here's a huge tip. Film in chunks by the bullet points, not continuous. Oh man, how many of you, and I know everybody's going to raise their hand on this one, but how many of you will go through and they mess up after 10 minutes and all of a sudden you have to restart the video? I mean, everybody goes through that. And trust me, I'm that guy who used to do that. Guys, I shit you not, or I'm sorry for cussing a little bit. That's me. But anyways, I kid you not that a 5-minute video used to take me like, oh my God, like 4 hours to do. I don't even know. It was so bad because I would get through and then I'd mess up and I'd cuss myself a few times. And then I'm like, okay, well, I got to do it again. And then I do it again and I do it again. And then I get pissed off because I'm doing it again. And then I get even more pissed off because I messed up again. And I just get to that point to where I just throw something and I'm like, I'm done with this, man. I am so done. And I have to pause and I have to come back and do it again. You guys, I just see you guys laughing because you know exactly what I'm talking about. That is the wrong approach. Don't do that, okay? What I love to do now is I like to take it from bullet point to bullet point. So for example, you guys see what I'm doing here. You see my notes, right? And what I would do if I'm creating a regular video on this, and not a Zoom training like I'm doing right now, but if I'm doing a regular training on this, I would actually cover dress separately. I would stop and then start at lighting, start at background, and start at preparing topic, and I'd go through my entire list. It is so much easier to take it in chunks and edit it afterwards than to continuously try to remember everything and get through everything at once. It's so much easier, guys. I'm telling you, this is one of the biggest tips that I can give you. What I like to do is if I do mess up, okay, so if I do get through a bullet point or maybe halfway through a bullet point and I mess up with something, I like to pause. So I'll actually take a second, I'll pause, and then I'll stay in the same position, and then I'll start back up with the very beginning of the section that I messed up on, okay? And I wrote down, I wanted to give an example for this. So let me think about one. So maybe I'm going through and like right there. So right there I messed up and I said, and if that was me doing a video, I would stop and then I would say, well, maybe I'm going through and then I continue on. Okay. So I wouldn't just pick up with the last word in the area that I messed up on. I'll go back to the beginning of the sentence or the beginning of the paragraph that I started on. And ideally, you want to start at a point to where you paused previously. So if you're continuing to talk, and how do I want to say this? I want to make sure I say this the right way. But if you're talking like continually and you don't take a second and don't take a break, then it's going to be hard for you to go back and edit it in because there's just a small section that you have to cut and replace. You don't want to do that. So what I like to do is, again, I like to go through different sentences or paragraphs or topics, and I'll pause at the end, and then I'll pick up because it's so much easier to edit back in if you've paused instead of doing it continuous. It sounds just more natural, okay? So that's a huge tip that I can give you guys. Okay, so I covered all of that to this point. The last part that I want to cover in shooting the video, and guys, start thinking of questions because I'm sure you have any because I want to answer some before we end this section of the video. But you want to make sure that you're speaking with passion. Don't be afraid to raise your voice. You want to make sure that you're showing as much emotion as possible, and most importantly, be real. I talked about this a little bit ago, but if you want to make sure that your passion, your excitement, your emotion, if you're talking about something that's sad, you want to see that come out in your video. If you're talking about something that is so important like your why, you want to get extremely emotional about that because the more real you are, then the more people are really just going to accept what you're and listen to and receive better what you're talking about. Okay. So you just want to be as real as you possibly can. And if you don't feel that, again, if you don't feel that after you review your video, and yes, guys, you need to review your video. I know there's some people who just like to just say, screw it, I'm just going to post it. I like to review my video because I want to make sure that I'm having the type of impact that I hope in all of my videos. And if I review it and I don't feel that in myself, and I might even have Melinda or somebody else watch it, if I don't feel that, or they don't feel that, I'll take a step back and I'll redo the video again. You want to make sure that you're coming across the people you're talking to in the right way. Okay, so that is that. I'm going to open it up for questions. Do you guys have any questions over anything that we covered to this point? No? Was that helpful? Awesome. Okay, so what I want to do now is I'm going to stop this video, all right? And we're going to exit out of this one. And then I think I'm actually going to start a new video with a new link, because this one will be saving, and I don't want to have to wait until it's done saving. So is that all right? And I'll post a link in the Diamond Club. You can join if you want. All right, I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.